And I'm going to put this out there too, brothers and sisters. You have to understand that the men tradition is strong, man. It's strong in a lot of these people's hearts. The men tradition that they was raised up in when they was kids. You understand what I'm saying? That men tradition is a world of illusion in itself, because it has a lot of emotional experiences in it. You know what I mean? Like the movie like family like experience, and it's all wrapped around in the men tradition that you was raised up in. You know, the way that your mom looked at you, the way your dad said this or something, you know, and they're even put into movies and stuff, man. You have to understand that people really have been captured by this. And you remember, brothers and sisters, I grew up in the 90s, man. So you know how Fairytale, the movies were when we was kids, concerning, like, you remember that Peter Pan trash. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? How it gave us those feelings like we would never have to grow up again. You know what I mean? We're always around our family. You have to understand that a lot of people still watch the movies to this day just to recapture how they felt when they was a kid. They still do this, man. And it's a cycle that Satan has made out of the wickedness of his imagination to keep a person from spiritually growing up into the reality of what it really is and what family really is and what real tradition is. So when I talk about men tradition, I have nothing against tradition. It's the men tradition, because usually that tradition doesn't involve the Mashiach nor the Creator. It's these own people's self-righteousness. It's their own way of doing things that they call right. And a lot of people are doing these so-called traditions of their own right. And the world is getting bad because everybody's tradition that has that type of tradition is in conflicts. See, if we was all in a Mashiach and all in the Creator as a mankind, then all of our traditions will make sense because it will involve who we were made by. Do you understand that? So it wouldn't be a conflict, even though I might look different than you, sound different than you, might even speak a different language than you. But we believe the same makers. So we're family. And it'll be natural like that because our belief system is the same. But when you got all these other people down here creating all these weird, what they claim to be righteousness, and it's a lot of kinks and binks in it, and it doesn't really match up to the true righteousness, this one you gonna have a lot of problems out here, man. And that's the thing today. People have been captured by the men tradition of Satan. I'll put it out there. Elohim, the Creator, didn't tell y'all to put that paganism in there, man. The Father didn't tell y'all to manipulate your kids like that, man. He didn't tell you to lie to them. You know what I'm saying? That's all them fairy tales, tooth fairy trash, the Santa Claus trash. Yahuwah didn't tell you to do all that. Yahushua ain't say that. He wasn't talking about those damn traditions. He didn't tell you to take your kids to no damn Halloween. Huh? He didn't tell you about you had to uphold a birthday. He ain't say nothing you had to go to a Thanksgiving. He ain't say nothing about no damn New Year's Eve. He ain't say nothing about that. He ain't say nothing about you had to keep up some anniversary. Everything when you talk about Elohim, what he tell you to keep up is always involving him in it. And the Mashiach. He said what? Sabbath wasn't made for man, but man for the Sabbath? I'm the master of the Sabbath. You better understand this. It involves them, man. And that's what the true believers are waiting on. We not only waiting on, a lot of things when the Mashiach comes back, that all includes righteousness. But when the traditions, the true traditions are put back in place, traditions that help children grow into good young adults, strong adults, smart adults, traditions that teach, traditions that don't lie, man, traditions that don't cause confusion. You understand that? That's what we waiting on, man. So a lot of these people that's really rooted into the man tradition they grew up under down here in this wicked world, these people are lost. And they really, if you ain't careful, if you not in the scriptures the way you supposed to be, that stuff that they claiming they standing for will have an effect on you, because they judge by the tradition, the men traditional beliefs they have. So in a traditional way they do things, if you don't do things by their traditions, then you're labeled a wicked person, a deadbeat, a weirdo, crazy, broke, whatever. These are these people's traditions, but when we look at it through the eyes of Elohim and the scriptures, these people are deflecting who they really are. They're trying to project their own path on us. You know what I mean? Because when they looking at us from a carnal, because that's all they man tradition can the sight of their man tradition can only show is the carnality. See, we coming from a spiritual. So in the flesh, they look at us as the broken. In the spirit, we see them the same. See? And this is not cracking on nobody. This ain't joking on nobody, playing on nobody. I'm showing you in Yahushua the reality. On the carnal side, they see us as the loners, and we don't have no life. We look at y'all the same way in the spirit. You don't have no life. Nobody around you loves you. You don't even know. You out there in the woods, man. You in a desert. You ain't got no resources. You was out there stuck. And you in your delusion thinking you living in a city and you eating food. You remember we used to watch them shows on TV, brothers and sisters, where they used to show a person trying to go through the desert and he start hallucinating. You know what I'm saying? He walking in the middle of the desert. Next thing you know, he hallucinating about him seeing a lake or water or something. That's how these people are in the spirit, bro. They out there in the wilderness, man, thinking they out there growing and living life, and thinking in the reality they out there in a no man's land. Nothing is out there, man. And like I said, I'm gonna say this before I get out of here, man. Some of these people ain't gonna realize this. Most of them won't until they get to the end. That's the sad part, man. That's the sad part. Just imagine, brothers and sisters. You thinking, and I'm not wishing this on none of us. I'm just saying, just tap in with me real quick. Just imagine you thinking you living life, and you doing what you doing, and you know everything is just peachy. And then long story short, you just blink a couple times and you wake up and you just in the middle of a straight trash wilderness. Nothing is even there. All right. And what's the first thing? You're going to be in shock because you're going to be confused about what's going on. But once you hear, once you recognize what's going on, would that terrify you to look back and say, man, hold on. I did all of that just to end up with this? Nothing. That's how most of these people gonna find out, man. They so busy out here trying to get this money and do what everybody else is doing concerning their man tradition they done grew up in. They thinking this is the way of life. And when it's convenient, they want to use the scriptures if it fits what they traditionally are doing or what they're, standing on. They'll use the Bible in ways like that. That's what I'm learning too. So they'll use the Bible when it's convenient to kind of like add some motion to their men tradition while they're, in front of people, whatever they doing within their traditions. They use the Bible when it's convenient to give it a boost. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to learn that too, because I had a little hard time with that before. Why are these people going against the Bible when they know what's in it? No, that's reason why they deny a lot of things in that Bible, and they only read certain things because their man tradition that they grew up in, and the men tradition that they creating in their families and on their kids. A lot of the Bible scriptures don't agree with what they traditionally want to do, but the ones that kind of do, them the ones that they use. I'm watching you black-hearted, you hypocrites are in trouble, man. It's a lot of people like y'all type of hypocrites that have turned a lot of people away from the faith, man. And Elohim said that. Yahushua said that. He said, woe unto them that offend the children, that offend one of these little ones. It'd be better for him if he tied a millstone around his neck. He was cast in the depth of the sea. And you hypocrites have offended a lot of children because of your damn tradition that you trying to brainwash people with. And these children, most of these children that grew up in that really believed in the Savior and had to, y'all done turned them away and offended them from believing in that way. And that's what they do, brothers and sisters. People who follow after their own traditions, all right, they offend people, man. They will guilt trip you and try to offend you like what you're doing outside of their tradition is wrong. You've seen it all in the Bashur. That's one of the foundational reasons why the scribes and the Pharisees and Sadducees wanted Yahushua dead. Because he was interrupting the traditions. But every now and then, they would use the script, wouldn't they? They would use the script now, wouldn't they? Oh, you ain't supposed to work on the Sabbath. But then they add hand washing and all this. They wouldn't wash their hands before they eat and all that. They added that to the Sabbath. So if you use the Sabbath, you're not supposed to do this on the Sabbath, then they can, later down the line say, hey, you also got to wash your hands on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You also got to dress like, see how they start adding their own righteousness to it? See how they start, that's what these hypocrites do in their man tradition. They use that Bible to add their own righteousness to it by using the Bible, tricking people into thinking they adding the script to their traditions, but there's something about the script that they want to add to their tradition, but it ain't got nothing to do with Elohim at all. Yeah, I'm figuring it out, but I ain't trying to talk ear off, brother, sister. I just want to let you know, these people that grew up in man tradition and that our ages now, that we're grown ups now, these people lost, man. And you got to stay in the script because Satan can tempt you into thinking that they living the life, bro. They doing whatever they want to do. And they having a good time. And that's the way to go. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. We're going to hear a lot of sad stories and news about a lot of these people as time goes on. I'm trying to tell you, man. Stay in the script. Stay in the Bashur. Stay prayed up. Let them people out there have their little fun, man. You know time, when you ain't paying attention, time seems to go super duper fast, man. And that's what a lot of these people is out here in that man tradition doing. They don't recognize the time that's passing. They just in the moment just having their fun. It almost sounds like it's midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying? They out there, man, and they really out there and they're not paying attention to the time that they missing. When it comes to getting themselves right, they missing all that time. They out here just getting money and doing all that, man. But it's gonna be sad for a lot of these people when they get to their life and they try to look back and say, "What did I do? What did I do that was meaningful, that was purposeful?" And all they gonna see is them trying to get that money, man, and all the wicked things they was willing to do to get it, the lies, the tricks, the deceptions. Even the physical bad things. They're going to think about all these things. Ain't none of these things these people escaped. These things are going to come to mind when the time is right. So, brothers and sisters, you got to stand in the script. Because what we stand in the script is not only putting us in a lot of places to influence and to share our faith in the truth, but it's also keeping us out of trouble. It's keeping us from being negative influences on people out here, man. You understand that? So we'll have a lot better story and a lot better news coming from our end. I'm just letting you know you got to stick it out. Don't let the devil trick you off the path, man. Stay in the Mashiach. Yahuwah is with the man. Late.